As you leave, what do you think the country's feeling is about George W. Bush?
I don't know. I hope they feel like this is a guy that came, didn't sell his soul for politics, had to make some tough decisions, and did so in a principled way.
I think they think he's somebody that kept them safe for 8 years. And I hear that all the time. People thanking me, telling me to thank him.
The thing that's important for me is to get home and look in that mirror and say, I did not compromise my principles. And I didn't. I made tough calls.
Was there a time when you thought, if I do this, I will be compromising my principles? Some decision where you really thought that that was at issue?
Yeah.
What?
A pull out of Iraq. It compromised the principle that when you put kids into harm's way, you go in to win. I mean, I listen to a lot of voices, but ultimately I listen to this voice. I'm not going to let your son die in vain. I believe we can win, and we'll do what it takes to win in Iraq.
You've always said there's no do-overs as president, if you had one.
I don't know. The biggest regret of all the presidency has to have been the intelligence failure in Iraq. A lot of people put their reputations on the line and said, you know, the weapons of mass destruction is a reason to remove Saddam Hussein. It wasn't just people in my administration, and you know, that's not a do-over. But I wish the intelligence had been different, I guess.
If the intelligence had been right, would there have been an Iraq war?
If he had had weapons of mass destruction, would there have been a war? Absolutely.
No, if you had known he didn't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You know, it's an interesting question. That is a do-over that I can't do. It's hard for me to speculate.
Greatest feeling of accomplishment as First Lady?
May I talk about her accomplishment, please?
Sure.
I think her greatest accomplishment is that she was able to lift the spirits of a lot of people, whether it be activists in Burma, women in Afghanistan, teachers in America, that she came and seized the moment, and has been a fabulous First Lady.
Thank you.
High point of the 8 years, the one moment when this all felt the best.
I would say maybe the 2004 inauguration, because you know, I had a difficult first-term presidency, not such an easy one second term either, by the way, but I had taken my message to the American people, campaigned hard in a race that, frankly, I wasn't expected to win, won, and then was able to go in front of the American people again, thank them for their confidence, and start a second term.
Greatest disappointment?
Well, I mentioned one, and that is no weapons of mass destruction. I think another, in Iraq, I think another great disappointment was not getting immigration reform done. I firmly believe that the immigration debate really didn't show the true nature of America as a welcoming society.
Finally tonight, what comes next? On the west side of the Capitol today, work was underway on the platform where Barack Obama will be sworn into office. After that ceremony, George and Laura Bush, no longer President and First Lady, will board Air Force One for the last time for a flight to Dallas in just moments, reverting to a life as private citizens. I asked them if they're prepared for that.
How do you mentally adjust for life after January 20th?
Check in about February 15th. I don't know. I'm confident I'll adjust, obviously. And I'm beginning to think through what I'm going to do. I intend to write a book. I'm going to build an institute at Southern Methodist University. Other than that, I'm just going to take it when it comes. I'd like to, I tell you what I don't want to do. I don't want to draw attention to myself. I pretty much had it when it comes to...
You want to withdraw from the limelight?
I think so, yeah. I'd like to live life without the limelight for a while. I think it's going to be real important for me to get off the stage. We got a new man coming on the stage. I wish him all the very best. And I don't want to be out there critiquing his every move.
And how about you? What thought have you given to it?
Well, I'm actually thinking of things like being a cook again and doing those sort of things, and I'm feeling very incompetent.
Yeah, I guess I'm going on a diet.
But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the more, the normal daily life.
Do you want to withdraw from the limelight as he does?
Sure,
Do you?
sure.
Because you go from 120 miles an hour
That's going to be the
to
hard
dead
part.
stop.
That's it.
And one former president said to me, it's a shock when the phone rings that you know it's probably the kids.
Yeah, that's right. It'll certainly be a contrast to that moment when you get sworn in as president and realize your life has just changed totally. One of the things I'm beginning to realize is that you get prepared for that moment during these final months.
We're on the last tour right now.
And so in other words, there's a lot of last moments.
You're only 62, though.
Right.
Is there one more deal in you? Is there one more thing you really want to achieve?
That's an interesting question. I am confident I'll be driven to do something. I just can't tell you what it is yet. Steve Hadley and I were sitting around, he's the National Security Advisor, sitting around and said, wouldn't it be interesting for baby boomers not to retire in nice places, but to retire during their retirement to go, help people deal with malaria or AIDS. In other words, I'm not suggesting that's what I'm going to do, but it is the kind of thing that intrigues me. My day is going to go from getting up early and being at the Oval Office at 6:45 and having a lot to do when you get there, to waking up at 6:45, getting Mama the coffee, and kind of wandering around trying. What's next, darling?
And final question, just to finish the sentence. I will leave the presidency with a feeling of...
I will leave the presidency with my head held high.
And I will leave the White House with...
With gratitude for everybody that we met the entire time.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
A conversation with the Bushes at Camp David. You can view other portions of our interview with the President and Mrs. Bush. They're on our website, abcnews.com.